Okay, here we go, you guys. So everybody can start sitting down. We'll actually start lying down. But I just would like to introduce myself one more time for all of you who don't know me yet, who have been taking Lori's class. So I'm Kelsie and I started this class a long time ago, about 8 years ago or so, when I was getting my certification to teach yoga with YogaFit. We did an 8-hour holiday series. It was supposed to be for people who didn't have access to yoga. And so I live Palisades, and I was teaching at the club at the time, and I thought, well, what about our end of town? And so we started that class a long time ago, and so some of you I've known for many, many years, and some of you are brand new today. And that's how the class always was, and it's always a beginner class. There's no expectation, no judgment. You just get to move, be yourself, feel good. If something isn't working for you and you know a different posture or pose, feel free to do that. If you know a more advanced posture and you want to try that, it's okay. There's no expectation here, okay? Between each other, of course, but also within ourselves. So that being said, something that I'm doing this year is kind of outside of my comfort zone. So I turned 33 this year, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun, since I live here, I've trained here, to try and do Ironman. I built up my distances. I did Honu last year. It went well. And so I put my name in the drawing, and I was picked. And so it's fate. And so I'm doing my Ironmom training. So that's what this Chris invited me to come while Lori was gone. And so I just jumped at the chance anyway. But that's what this event is going towards, my Ironmom training. Writing my book, From P-Man to Ironmom. And right now, it takes a lot for me to do Ironman. It takes a whole lot more, with children, having my business, doing, that's why I had to give this class up. And so Al is watching the boys right now. I have had so much support already from the community and over the years to give me the confidence to be able to do this. So I thank all of you guys, because you've been an essential part of my journey this whole time. So that being said, I have no judgment expectation of myself for doing this, except to have a good time and not to let anybody down who I've, who have been supporting me. And this community is so awesome. I mean, you guys brought me the flowers for my wedding, okay? So, that is what carries me as I'm doing all of this. It's really special. So I really appreciate you guys all for being here in the first place. Okay, so right now we're going to just relax and transition into this practice. Give yourself permission to just be here. So let's lie down if you want to. If you want to be sitting, you can. But relax your shoulders, relax your face, and close your eyes. So we'll turn to our breathing. And we're looking for that comfortable breath. Hearing the breath in the back of your throat. Letting each breath last a little bit longer than the one before it. Filling your belly with each inhalation. And as you exhale, just sink into your mat or your towel, into the sand a little bit deeper. Let go all of your thoughts and distractions, anything that's been going on today or this week so far. Give yourself permission to take care of yourself for the next hour with no agenda. And we'll carry this breath through our entire practice this evening. If you're not already lying on your back, go ahead and get there now. And while you're lying on your back, bring your feet in, placing them comfortable distance away from you. Hip distance apart. We're going to begin with our bridge. Arms are down by your sides. Inhale and lift your hips up until your knees and shoulders are a straight line. And exhale, lower your hips back down. Inhale, lift the hips again into your bridge. And exhale, lower back down. If you have low back issues, inhale and hinge yourself up one nice unit with your spine and exhale back down. If you want to warm up your spine one vertebrae at a time, you can roll yourself up, picking your spine off of the mat like a string of pearls, and exhaling, rolling yourself back down, replacing your pearls. And continue this bridge cycle, inhaling as you lift and exhaling as you lower for 4 more breaths. And when you're finished with your bridges, pull your knees into your chest, hugging underneath the knee joints. And you can gently rock side to side, massaging the low back. And then releasing your left leg, keep your right knee pulled into your chest for a gentle spine release. And then switch, pull your left knee into the chest and you can replace your foot back on the mat. And we'll alternate, one knee comes in as you inhale, and then exhale as you pull your other knee in. And inhaling and exhaling, we just switch one side to the other. Now, if you want to make this a little bit more challenging, instead of putting your foot on the mat, you can extend your leg, the opposite leg that's not pulled into your chest. And if you want to curl your shoulders up and look at your legs, your abdominal muscles will be engaged as well. You can always put your hands behind your head, but if your neck is kind of talking to you, then just replace your head back down and that's fine. If your back is talking to you, you can put your feet back on the mat or you can extend your legs higher to the sky. And pull both knees back into the chest. And we'll release the legs. Turning all the way over, we're going to move into our child's pose. So first we turn to our hands and our knees. Arms extend out in front of us over our heads, and we can sit back down towards our heels with the head resting on the mat. If it's better for your shoulders to bring your arms down by your sides or to stack your fists and rest your head on your hands, and that's okay. If your knees feel better apart, that's okay too. Find the position that's best for you. And while we're trying to sit our hips back to our heels, if you don't quite make it, that's okay. And then shift forward onto your hands and your knees with your hands right under your elbow and shoulder. Your knees and your hips are lined up too. Holding your tummy in tight, we're going to reach our right arm and left leg in our spinal balance. Once you find that pose, you can set your hand and knee back down and then switch to the other side. Reaching through the heel and through the fingertips and set back down. You inhale as you lift on one side and exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift and exhale as you lower. Continue at your own pace. I'm going to peek around and make sure everybody has their legs straight out. Perfect. And then finish your last one. Sit back into child's pose. And shift onto your hands. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up for downward facing dog. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can always go back into child's pose. So in downward facing dog, your hips are reaching up, your heels are reaching down, head is between the arms, looking at your feet. and you're pressing your rib cage towards your legs. So if you've been doing a lot of swimming, biking, and running and your hamstrings are tight, your heels might not go all the way down to the ground, and that's okay. You can even bend your knees if you need to. And we're always finding a comfortable stretch, never a straining point. So find where it feels good for you, and you hold that position. Shift forward, drop down to the knees, untuck your toes, and sit back into child's pose. Shift onto your hands, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up for downward facing dog, and this time let's pedal our heels. So press your right heel down, bending your left knee, and then stretch the other way, pressing your left heel down, bending your right knee. And we'll inhale as we press one heel down and exhale as we do the other side. This time we're going to press both heels down, bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet into forward fold stretch. So you're hinged over at the waist. If your back is sensitive, you can put your hands on your shins or your thighs, or you can just hang right over. And then bending your knees, holding your tummy in tight. Inhale and lift your arms over your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Perfect. Okay, are we all feeling a little bit warmer? And if you just arrived and you're not feeling warm, then as we go through our sun salutations, you can kind of take some easier modifications, okay? So everybody come to the front of your mat, all the way to the top. Okay. And we're going to inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, walk or step your right foot back into a lunge. And we're checking to make sure our knee is right over our ankle. Okay, we're bringing our left leg back into downward facing dog. So if you want to bring your hands to one side and work your leg around, you can, and press into downward dog. Or if you can just step your foot back, you can do it that way too. So find your downward facing dog, pressing your heels down, hips go up. And then we'll shift forward into plank. So hands under our elbows and shoulders. You can be on your knees if you want to, and you can go to your knees at any time. Straight line from the back of the head down to the heels or down to the knees. And then exhale, bending your elbows in. We're going to hover in crocodile. So once again, you can be on your knees, and that's okay. Elbows are in close to the sides. Okay, hovering. And then let's press into child's pose for this first round. Sit back onto your heels. And shift forward onto your hands. Tuck your toes, lift your hips into downward facing dog. And walk or step your right foot forward between your hands. So you can step all the way through, or you can come down and bring your leg around. Either way is okay. Step your back foot forward and forward fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Good. Okay, we're going to do it again. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive down into forward fold. Inhale, walk or step the left leg back this time for your lunge. And exhale, bring your right leg back to meet your left in downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward for plank. And exhale, hover in crocodile. Now we're going to inhale to upward facing dog or modified cobra. So you can be on your forearms here, shoulders are down, or you can be all the way up, squeezing your glutes. Okay. We're going to tuck our toes, lift our hips for downward facing dog. Inhale, walk or step the left foot forward for your lunge on the other side. And bring your back foot forward for forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Okay, we're cycling through one more time on each side. But I'm going to say fewer and fewer words. So if you can remember the sequence, then try and follow along. And I'm going to try and lead you through the inhaling and exhaling because we try and connect our breath with our movement. It feels really good once we can do that, okay? So this is a sequence to really warm up and work the entire body. Okay, inhaling all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, walk your right foot back for your lunge. And exhale into downward dog. Inhale for plank. And exhale, crocodile. Inhale for upward facing dog or modified cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, lunge. And exhale, back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale up. And exhale, heart center. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back for lunge. Exhale, right leg back for downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, crocodile. Inhale, up dog or cobra, modified cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good job, you guys. Okay, moving into our mountain series. So taking a step back, our warrior series, I should say. So take a step back with your right foot, and your back foot turns to a 45-degree angle out to the side. Okay. You pull your tummy in tight, but you still are breathing, okay? And you take your hips around to the short side of your mat or your towel. Arms reach up, shoulders down, and this is warrior one. So if you want to bring your hands together, if you want to bring your hands down, everything is okay, all right? So trying to tuck the hips under, bring the hips around, and turn to your breathing. Just holding it here. And shift into warrior two. So our hips are going to go along the long edge of our mat, reaching front and back, shoulders are down. Our front knee is still bent, our back leg is straight. Looking over your front hand, warrior two. So holding these strength poses, we're trying to feel some heat in our arms and in our legs without moving. So it's good for our joints. With these isometric poses, drop your back hand down to your back leg, reach your front arm up overhead for our reverse warrior. Looking at your top hand if you can, or you can look straight ahead for balance. Don't forget to keep your front knee bent, even though you're leaning slightly back. And take your top arm, bring it all the way over, cartwheel it onto your front leg. Your back hand comes up for our modified side angle. If you have a yoga block or a water bottle or a shoe, something that can bring you part way, or if you want to go all the way down to the ground, that's a full side angle. Or you can stay up on your leg and looking either at your hand or straight in front of you. And bring your body back up. Okay, so now we'll straighten both legs. Take a little step in with your back leg. Okay, both legs are straight. You still have that angle, and your arms go front and back. Is that better? Okay. Your arms go front and back like you're doing warrior two, but your palms are facing forward. So you stick your hip out back, and you tip forward into triangle. This toward me. Yep, there you go. Okay, so thinking about, everybody take a peek really quick. Everybody up. Okay, so you're thinking about a tight Ironman training body. So this is what I'll try and show you. But you're going to go here, and you're trying to flatten this rib cage, like parallel with the ground. Okay, Not the best example, but I don't want to hurt myself before hone and trying to show off. So, okay, so from here, hips back, tip, and trying to flatten here. And you might feel more stretch as you try to flatten that rib cage and the back of the front leg. John, if you can, front knee bent. If it's too much, then don't lean over as far. Okay? So when you tip over like that, your hand lands where it lands. If it's by your knee, that's okay. If it's by your ankle, that's okay. Triangle. And bring your body all the way back up. Okay, so another hamstring stretch. We're going to take our back foot like you're standing on railroad tracks, but pretty close together. And hands come to your hips. This is pyramid. So start out with a really flat spine. Okay, little tiny bend in your knees, so we're not locking our knees out, but they're pretty straight. So straight legs, tiny bend in the knee. Hinge forward from the hip with a flat back. You probably won't be able to go over as far as when you curve down, but think about lifting those hips up towards the sky while you really root your feet into the ground for pyramid. And take a deep breath in. Exhale, walk your hands down your legs and let your back go too, and you can stretch out your back. Roll yourself back up. We'll step together. We're ready for the other side, but let's just notice in mountain pose for a moment. Notice the right versus the left, upper body, lower body. Just see if there's any difference here in our mountain, and just collect yourself with a couple of deep breaths. Okay, take a step back with your left foot. So I'm going to turn around just so that everybody can see me still, but you don't turn around. So your left leg is back, right knee is forward, hips turn towards the front of your mat, right? You're not pulling warrior one. So if it feels pretty good, like this is supposed to be a challenge, I feel really comfortable. You can always take a bigger step, until you are sinking low. If you change your mind, just change it back, okay? But you do want to feel some work going on, and that's the patience and the breathing and the not rushing. Sometimes it feels like, well, what are we doing? Are we going to do something? Well, that's okay to just be here in this moment and feel the work in your body. And shift your hips to the long edge of your mat. Bring your arms front and back, palms down, looking over your front hand. Think about reaching through the fingertips, keeping the shoulders down, pulling your tummy tight and flattening your hips. Drop your back hand down to your back leg. Reach your front arm up, reverse warrior. Keep that front knee bent. Perfect. Cartwheel your arm all the way over, rested on your front knee. Back arm comes up, looking up at your hand. Modified side angle, and of course you can come all the way down if you want, or anywhere in between. Bring yourself all the way up. Run a straight in both legs. Take a step in for our triangle. Okay, so arms are reaching front and back, palms facing forward. Your hips go back, you tip forward. There you go. into triangle. Good job. Bring yourself all the way back up. Take your back foot, step it around. So both feet are now pointing straight ahead with a slight step in between. Hands come to the hips. A little tiny bend in the knee, but legs straight, and you hinge forward for pyramid. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slide your hands down your legs, stretching your back and the back of your legs. Bring yourself back up. Step together and mountain pose. Everything should feel even now. Okay, so now it's time to practice our balance. So we'll start off with tree pose. Standing on your left leg, take your right foot, and you can start with it just a little kickstand here, and your hands can be here. So this is one way you can do your tree pose. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging for yourself, and especially on the sand, it's already a little bit challenging, so if you need to stay there, that's okay. But you can take your foot anywhere along your leg you want, and you can extend your arms as well. So a little trick is to find a focal point, so find a little shell or stick or something in the sand and focus on that point out in front of you, and it can help you balance. If you have your foot all the way up and you want more of a challenge, imagine opening the hip totally to the side. So the knee to the side, the hips stay square to the front. Don't forget to breathe. And bring your hands down, bring your foot down, and we'll switch to the other side. Okay, so standing on your right foot, take your left foot against your ankle, or you can put it anywhere, skip the knee. So try not to push laterally on the knee. Finding your favorite spot. Bringing everything down, arms down, leg down. Perfect. Okay, so let's try our dancer pose. So you can try dancer pose or gentle quad stretch. If it's not comfortable for you, you can go back to your tree. So let's stand back on our left foot for dancer. We're going to take our right foot in our right hand, and you're holding by your big toe with your thumb up. Okay, like this. Okay. So then from here, you can stay in gentle quad stretch with your left arm extended. Or you can find your balancing edge. So from here you can tip forward, and you tip, and you lean, and you have a little battle between your hand and your foot, which stretches your shoulder, and you're trying to extend and lean as long as you can. And bring yourself back up, release your foot, and switch to the other side. So standing on your right foot, take your left foot, your left hand, holding by your big toe, extend your right arm out in front of you. If you have a partner, or if you want to go by the table, if you want to come up by me, you can. Okay. And then you can extend. So you got it. everybody down, arm down, leg down. Perfect. Okay, one more, and this is my new favorite, but it's really tricky to do. So this is something that you can try at home against a wall. Okay, I've done many times. Okay, the first time I tried doing this, I could never even try it. But we're all going to try it today, just for the fun of it. Okay, so we're on our left foot, right? So standing on your left foot, take your hands, you're bringing them down to the mat, and pick up your back leg. So this could be your first step. That's kind of hard enough. Now, if you want, you can try taking your right hand and reaching it up towards the sky. Okay? Then you look to the side, slowly finding a focal point, like one spot along the way until you're totally leaning open to the side. Okay, this is our balancing half move. If you want to go the next level, you bring your hands to heart center while you're twisted to the side. Kind of like that. Okay, and everybody come up, and we'll try on the other side, okay? So standing on your right leg. Okay, if anybody is getting dizzy from down and up, let yourself stop seeing stars, okay? And here comes an airplane, so let's try the other side. Going, watch me, right on your arms to the side if you want to. And you can bring your hands together. Good job, you guys. Okay, and everybody can come on up. Very nice. Okay. Very nice. So comfortable hip distance. Let's let our arms kind of wrap around us in a spinal release. Good work, you guys. Sometimes the balance is harder than the strength poses. Okay, and then hands can come behind us. If you can't reach together, that's okay. Just bring your hands towards one another. Open the chest to the sky. Chest expansion, breathing into the belly. Release the hand. And go ahead and come down onto your mat. Now, you can turn sideways on your mat. And actually, let's do our butterfly first. It's an easier hip opener. So go ahead and have a seat in the middle of your mat. Your feet are together, your knees are apart. Okay. So we're going to open the hips out to the side so hands can be, on your ankles or your feet. The straighter your spine, the more stretch you're going to feel as you tip forward. You might not be able to go as far. If it feels better for you to just round yourself forward and feel the stretch there, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But you can kind of adjust how much stretch you feel by the position of your spine. And if on this one you want to gently guide your knees open with your elbows, you can. Sometimes, maybe at home, if you're doing this, and you take two big pillows, or even if you could make little sand pillows, and if sometimes you just, actually you can hold your knees too, and let them open naturally without trying to hold themselves up. Like if your legs are being held up by these hip flexor muscles, they can't relax because they're trying to hold them up. So if you assist them with pillows or hands, or they can be in a stretched position but not working, which is a big difference. So I recommend everybody try that at home tonight. Take a couple pillows and see what happens when you go to your full stretch but assisted. Okay. Okay, and if you'd like to try using gravity to open the hips, then we're going to flip over for frog. So you can stay here if you'd like, if your knees are sensitive, or you can flip over. You bring your knees apart, your feet are together, and then you can walk yourself forward, stretching the hips. So gravity, pull your hips straight down. So that's up to you if you want to try it. I know we're on the beach, there's sand. It's all right. Perfect. So make sure you're not overstretching, that it feels comfortable. Bring one knee in first and then the other. Okay. Brush your sand off as you want to. And we're going to spin around for pigeon. So for pigeon, you're going to bring your left leg out in front of you. The leg is trying to be parallel with the top of your mat while you rest on your leg back behind you. However, if your knee doesn't like that, tuck your foot underneath you more, okay? If you flex your foot, it protects the knee a little bit more. And then if your knees and hips are like, no way, I'm out, then you can tip to the side and bend your knees like this while leaning forward. So this is a modified pigeon. So it can be here, it can be here, hands can be up, or you can get your foot up here resting totally down. So you listen to your body and do what it's telling you today, and we're going to just breathe, rest and hold this pose. And bring yourself up. Okay. You can tip out of your pose. Okay, bring your leg in and swing your right leg up in front now. We'll do the other side. Okay, so tuck your left leg out behind you. Leg is extended. Your right leg is forward and you're just settling into your pose. And bring yourself up. Bring yourself onto your hands. And then you can slide out of the pose. We're going to go on to our knees next for a little back exercise. It's called camel. So you're kneeling down. And from here, we'll do our modified camel. You bring your hands to your small of your back. You inhale and you lift your chest up towards the sky. Okay, so here's our modified camel. Now, if you want to take this into the normal camel, you tuck your toes. This is important. If you're trying to grab your heels with your feet down, it's a lot farther. Tuck your toes. And then first try, you reach back, trying to grab your heels, lifting a curve in your spine. If it doesn't feel good, go back to your modified, walking yourself back up, okay, because this is a major back extension. So find the pose that feels better for you. Chin stays down versus letting the head fall back. And walk your hands back to the small of your back if they're not there already. And then hands out in front of you. Child's pose, untuck your toes, sit back onto your heels, and stretch out your back. Okay, we're going to shift forward, turn all the way over onto your back. Okay. We're resting on your back again, and we're going to kind of wrap up the class with some stretches here, pulling your knees into your chest, gently rocking side to side like you did in the beginning of class. And then we're going to bring our feet back down. Extend your left leg out straight, lying it flat on your mat. Take your right knee and pull it across your body with your left hand. Extending your right arm out to the right side and looking to the right. This is our lying spinal twist. So it should be across your body, kind of hooking your toe behind your knee. And then bring the knee back across. Extend your right leg out. Pull your left knee in. Taking your right hand, bring your left knee across your body. Reach your left arm out to the side and look left. Bring your knee back across. Now, both arms are out to the side. Palms are down. Knees are both bent now with the feet together. Let the knees drop side to side in a spinal release. And then once the knees go to the right side, leave the knees to the right. Take your left arm, bring it across the body to the right side, closing your hands like a book. And then open the book back up. And repeat. Exhale as you close the book. Inhale as you open the book. And one more time on this side. And leave your arms open. Bring your knees across your body. And take your right arm close to the left. And open. Close. Open. And this time as you exhale and close, we're going to stay on the left side, okay? So close to the left and stay there. And you can kind of position yourself comfortably. You can stay on your side for a little while, or you can lay on your back, you can sit up. But go ahead and get comfortable. We're going to turn to our relaxation. So if you want to stay there, you can, or you can transition to your back. You can let your feet fall apart if you're on your back. So now go ahead and close your eyes. Notice your body, return to your breath. Congratulate yourself on completing a nice routine, doing something good for yourself today. And as you rest here, let go of any other thoughts that might be lingering. Try and clear your mind. If anything comes into your mind, that's okay. Just let it go as easily as it came. And if you want to focus on a mantra, a word or a phrase that has special meaning to you, you can bring that word or phrase into the forefront of your mind, repeating it like a small voice. You can take this time to just be here with nothing else that needs to be done. I'll watch the clock and you get to enjoy this time. can slowly begin to wake yourself up, but before you open your eyes, we'll ask ourselves our 3 questions. So the first question is, who am I? Who am I? More than just a partner or an employee, employer, a friend, a sister, daughter, brother. Who am I at the core of my being? And next we ask ourselves, what do I want? What do I want? It can be for yourself or for somebody else. It can be a thing, an idea, or an event. What do you want most? And finally, we ask ourselves, how can I serve others? How can I use my special talents and gifts to serve those around me? And we take all of the answers to our questions and put them out into the universe and trust in their outcomes to be true. So now you can take the time to fully come back to us here. Bring your awareness back to the circle. Get in any stretches that you still need. And when you're ready, you can turn to your side and sit up. Good job, you guys. So thank you all for joining me this evening. Thanks for the donations and everything, but especially thank you for your support and just being here, being great people. That makes it easy for me to give and to try and be a better person too. I really am blown away by our community, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. So if anybody wants to talk to me after class too, we'll be sticking around for our potluck, and there's plenty to eat. So if you didn't bring anything, everybody's way welcome. We made sure that there's plenty. If you want to come talk story and just catch up. And the boys should be back soon. I will be bringing them back, okay? But otherwise, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week. The spirit in me honors the spirit in all of you. Namaste. And if everyone, can we get a group picture really quick? You guys, would you mind? A fun one? Yeah? Here, I'll turn this one on.